What is a unicorn? Why is the unicorn in lots of paintings in medieval Europe? The unicorn story goes to Noah's flood. All animals are in the ark. Noah also wants to take a unicorn to the ark, but there is no place on the ship. Then a giant comes and says, he will ride the unicorn on the back of the ship.So Noah saves a giant and unicorn. But as you see, they are single. Why are they single? How will their lineage continue if they are single? But what is really a unicorn? Unicorn is the purest blood of all precious bloodlines. Jesus is symbolized with a unicorn. Unicorn is the son of Jesus and Maria Magdalena, which was hidden in France. Cathars were killed for protecting the unicorn. Lots of medieval pictures show a unicorn killed or unicorn in prison. What Templars found in Jerusalem was who the unicorn was. In Jewish Talmudic story, there is a flood story as follows. Just before the world was drowned, all the animals gathered in front of the ark and Father Noah carefully inspected them. I wonder, he said to himself, how I shall obtain a unicorn, and how I shall get it into the ark. Og said, I can bring thee a unicorn, Father Noah. He heard in a voice of thunder, and turning round he saw the giant, Og. But thou must agree to save me, too, from the flood. Begone, cried Noah. Thou art a demon, not a human being. I can have no dealings with thee. Og brought a unicorn. It was as big as a mountain, although the giant said it was the smallest he could find. It lay down in front of the ark, and Noah saw by that action that he must save it. For some time he was puzzled about what to do, but at last a bright idea struck him. He attached the huge beast to the ark by a rope fastened to its horn so that it could swim alongside and be fed. Long story short, where does this unicorn and giant, Og, come from? Why do we need these creatures for the remaining part of the story? So first we need to understand what are these two last voyages on ark, unicorn and giant. First, think where we see royal unicorns. In medieval Europe, we see images of unicorns, even unicorns with virgins. It is easy to guess that that unicorn is the lineage of Jesus. We see tribe of gods, the Tuatha De Danann, riding horses with unicorns. Be careful of the tribe of gods, plurals, also Danan, from the lost tribe of Dan, or not so lost. Now be careful and choose your way. Is this Og, giant, Nephilim an ally of the unicorn or not? Hard to make a decision, but Og, giant, Nephilim is the second angelic bloodline in Arkansas. But wait, Noah was so white when he was born, his father was afraid that he was also angelic. Noah's wife is from the lineage of Tuvalcain, so now Ark is full of bloodlines, who are from fallen angels. Rainbow and unicorn are dominant symbols now. They symbolize preservation of sexual variety from the beginning of Eden, not extinction even against flood. Why Scotland has a unicorn in its arms, as national animal. They claim to have the purest blood since Eden, since flood, since Jesus. And English royalty has a lion, so we see a lion and a unicorn fighting. And according to the story, rainbows had not existed prior to the flood of Noah's day. So the rainbow seems to imply the beginning of purity, but it is the other way. Despite God, various bloodlines managed to survive, so rainbow has all colors, means this world still have all bloodlines. In the story of Job, we hear God teasing Job with the unicorn. Long story short, God and Satan have a bet going to see if Job will remain faithful to God no matter what horrible stuff happens to him. After lots of suffering, Job finally declares that God is not fair, since he's been obedient. Job 31 verse 35. Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is, that the Almighty would answer me. God answers, by saying how Job cannot control a unicorn. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow? or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him, because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him, that he will bring home thy seed, and gather it into thy barn? So is God talking about the angelic bloodline, or the unicorn constellation, or both? But this word is not unicorn in Hebrew. It is simply ox. Is this a translation mistake into English? Why did someone translate this animal as unicorn? Another version of this story is the claim of the extinction of the unicorn. As Noah is getting his animal couples together and warning them about the flood. But the unicorns are vain and silly. They don't take Noah seriously, so they get left behind and drown. And that's why we no longer have unicorns. So another version of the story is claiming that unicorn bloodlines must be extinct now. As always, this is a bloodline fight. Check the European flag, coat of arms, where lion and unicorn are fighting, or they seem in peace. Long story short, although God made flood to clear Nephilim race, Ark was full of Nephilim genes of all sorts. That is why today royal families, secret societies, brotherhood clubs fight over the world dominion. We are seeing the fight of two bloodlines, claiming to come from unicorn, a single source of seed. The other party is saying, no, you are not pure anymore, or even that blood does not exist anymore.